my God, I've never ever thought that he is this guy from the Miss Murder video with the black hair and the makeup on.
It was starting to become more common for women to break into these roles and to be something other than just kind of, a pop star.
It could be the year of female voices to me.
Hell Hey guys, welcome back to the Longplayers Club. We know it's been a little bit since you last heard from us, so thanks for listening. Today we are talking about the albums of Riot from Paramore and Silver Bleeds the Black Sun from AFI. Then we jump into a kind of organic question of the day, talking about what tattoos we would get inspired by our favorite albums, artists, or lyrics. Hope you enjoy. We are back again. Sorry for the delay to all of our fans out there. I know it's been a while since our last episode, but we needed some time to digest these great albums and talk about it. So welcome to the Longplayers Club. My name is Allison, and I'm here today with my host, Isabel. Isabel, how you doing?
Hi guys, I'm fine. How are you, Edison? I can't wait for this episode to begin.
Oh yes, we have a lot to discuss. It's been a while. I'm doing great. I have had a musical renaissance the past couple weeks, and I found a new band I'm absolutely obsessed with. So I'm excited to talk to you a little bit about that. But I am feeling good. And this morning I was a little overwhelmed. I was making myself a playlist for a workout, and I was adding songs from this new band that I'm liking, and I'm seeing that they all have side projects, and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much music out there today. And it's one of those great moments where you're like, wow, there's so much I want to listen to, and not the opposite where you're like, oh my God, I hate everything that I'm listening to and I'm not in the mood for any of it. But what about you?
Yeah.
How are you doing? What's your music vibe lately?
Yeah, my music vibe lately was a little bit, I couldn't find time to properly listen to anything concentrated. Besides, I do a workout or a bike ride, so I'm grateful I keep a little bit of movement to listen to music. And yeah, but I'm checking tour schedules and some live gigs on Instagram for my favorite artists. So yeah, I'm updated, but not so much actively listening to. But yeah, I'm glad you do it for me, because one lifetime is too short to discover everything you might love.
Especially when I'm spending so much time re-listening to the same things over and over again. But hey, sometimes that's gonna be. Is there any music news you would like to share?
Yes, a lot. I have two kind of things I want to talk about, because
Okay.
last September, when we went to the small concert in Maastricht, we discovered a band called Drift. But yeah, sadly, they broke up after their very few last gigs in this year and this autumn. But they came back with another music project, which is very new and inspiring to me, because they said, oh, guitar and alternative rock and indie music is kind of the same, and we want to get inspired by electronic beats, hip hop, rap parts, and they mixed it together. It's called Rejoice in K. I can really recommend to listen to. I think there's another song dropping tomorrow on the 15th of May. The first song was very good. I think I sent it over to you, and I really liked the vibe. It reminds me of yes, but didn't we talk about it?
I think we did.
Maybe it's a
on our
repetition.
last call. That's okay. That's okay.
Maybe that's a repetition, but I'm still into it, and I'm still curious about new songs. So tomorrow on the 15th, there's a new drop. And another big thing. Big thing is a good transformation to the topic I want to talk about, because The Big Push is a band which started busking in Brighton, and one member of this band is Ren, actually. And they announced some tour dates in the end of the year, and it was immediately sold out. And they now were on a small tour through the UK, and they started in Scotland. Now they played London even. And yeah, I just followed it on Instagram, what kind of good time they had. They dreamed of selling out these bigger venues from starting up the busking in the streets, and Ren also seems very happy and in a good condition, because sometimes I have dreams about our festival show we going to see him, and he appeared once in my dream and said, oh, I cannot do it because of my health conditions.
No.
And oh my God, I had such a nightmare, and I really crossed the fingers that this kind of small tour is not pushing him back to bad.
It's not too big
Health
of a
condition.
push.
Yeah, big, not too big of a push. So, but it's so cool to see that he finally can experience that again, and also with the band. And yeah, they have very upbeat songs. It's not the typical Ren song because they also do some covers, and
Hmm.
all the people coming from over the world to see them. And yeah, this was really exciting to follow around on Instagram.
Great. Okay, that sounds great. That's really cool. I'm gonna have to check out a little bit of the Big Push then. I
Yeah, I
also
think
have
you will
some.
like them.
Yeah, okay, I'll check it out. But I also have some concert news because it's been a
Yeah.
while since we chatted, and I saw a lot of shows in April.
Mhm.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna try and remember the ones I saw. I started with Louis Tomlinson on his How Did We Get Here tour, and that was great. We might have actually already talked about that one based on the last time when we had our call. That was the first one I saw in April, but it was a great show. Really enjoyed it. He played No Control, which is a One Direction song, and I think he only played that in Cologne. So that was really special to see. And
Whoa.
some of my One Direction fan friends have been sending me TikToks and reels about it because the fan community is going crazy that this happened at this show. And I was so excited. I didn't expect this. I don't think anyone expected this. I had, as usual, planned out my last bathroom break based on the set list. There was the second encore that I was thinking, yeah, it's not so important to me if I miss some of that. So whatever, I want to be there for the last encore because that was going to be Palaces, which is my favorite song of the new album. So I was thinking, yeah, okay, I'll go return my fund, my deposit on my cups. I'll go to the bathroom, no problem. So I do all that after the first song. As I'm coming back to my seat, as I'm walking in, I hear him say, like, oh man, I swore I wasn't going to play this again, but you guys are such a great audience. Like, I have to. And then it started the opening bars for No Control. No Control used to be my alarm when I was in university. This was one of my favorite One Direction songs, and it was a song that was
Yeah.
written mainly by Louis, and it has, I think, the strongest of his solos. So I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I sprint back to my seat. Everyone's going crazy. The energy in that room was unbelievable. It was so awesome to see and to sing along with, and like goosebumps the whole time. It was incredible. So that
Yeah.
was such a fantastic moment and such a highlight. Yeah, it
Nice.
was a
Also
great
in
show.
this big arena, I
Huge
think
arena.
it's
Yeah, it was
different
great.
like vibe when you have such a big venue, yeah.
Absolutely. It was fantastic to see, and it was great.
Did you wear your merch shirt already?
Absolutely. I've been wearing my merch. I got a sweater this time. So not
Yeah.
my typical black t-shirt. And yes, I've been wearing it around. It's a great sweater. It's really comfortable. It's got a really cool design on the back. So love it. Very happy with that.
And have you created some connection through it? Because I'm
Oh
always
no.
waiting when I'm wearing my dive shirt, like, oh, nice band.
No,
Maybe it's happening.
nobody has said anything to me about my sweater. The only time anyone's ever commented on a band shirt was when I was with you at that indie party, and
Yeah.
I was wearing
Oh
my
yeah.
Always t-shirt, and you were wearing your dive shirt, and
Yeah.
the guy was like, that's an iconic duo. And that's the only time anyone's ever commented on a band shirt I'm wearing. But anyways, other than that, no one's really commenting on my
And
shirts.
I remember when we were at the Raytons gig, we had another guy wearing the Cage the Elephant shirt you bought. So this was
We were
like
twins, yes. But I don't
matching.
think he noticed me.
Yeah.
I don't think we didn't speak about it, but yeah. But anyways, it
No,
was a
no,
great
no, but it's
show.
also cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was a
nice.
great show. Loved it. Totally see it again. But yeah. Then after Louis, what did I have after Louis? Yeah, so then I saw the vaccines in the middle of April, and that was at Bürgerhaus Storwerk here in Cologne, which was such a small venue. It felt like being at a high school gym performance, which was so cool to be in such a small, intimate crowd. And the opener was really great too. Really reminded me of that band we saw, or that guy we saw in Maastricht, whose name I don't remember. You know, the guy who's like twerking on stage, because the
Yeah,
opener was like this. He went into the audience, was like dancing on the floor in the audience. It was really, really crazy. Really,
nice.
really cool
Really
energy. So
interactive.
very interactive. But no, that was a really cool concert. Really enjoyed that one. They played the album What Did You Expect from the Vaccines, their first album in entirety, and then they also played some of their newer songs. They also announced that they are flying to LA and recording their next album soon. So we'll have new music from the
Hmm.
Vaccines, hopefully coming out
Nice.
this year, maybe next year. I'm not sure. But yeah, they played one song as like a sneak preview, and it was great. So I'm really looking forward to whenever it is that they
Yeah,
start releasing the new music.
nice.
It was a great show. Really cool to see. And then after that, I went to Balu Brigada at Carlsberg, Victoria, which was a great venue, really cute little beer garden out front, really reminded me of Live Music Hall. And that band I didn't
Yeah.
really know too well, but yeah, the tickets were fairly cheap, and I thought, yeah, sure, why not? Let's go. And it was a great show. They had a DJ as an opener, which again, it was not what I was expecting. And I brought Niels with me, and he was even quite impressed by the opener. He was like, "Oh my God, you actually took me to a show with a DJ? Like, I did not expect this at all." And I was like, I didn't
didn't expect you have.
I didn't know.
I didn't expect you have such a good taste in
That's
music.
right. That's right. Well, it was really fun, and like the DJ was super interactive, but it got a bit annoying. Like he after every 2 minutes he would stop and make some like big speech like, "We're all here, just like love each other. Turn to your neighbor, tell them that you love them." And it was like, okay, man, come on. We're not at like an activist rally or something. Like, let's
Do
chill
your
out. We just
job.
want to Yeah, exactly. We just want to hear some music. Talk a little bit, sure, but like every 2 minutes it was getting a bit much. But it
Yeah.
was fun. The show was great. We really enjoyed it. And yeah, I've been listening to more of Bella Brigada since then. And yeah, I'm liking them. They're good, chill, easy vibes. And then the
Yeah.
last concert
I'm-
I've seen. Oh, sorry, yes.
Yeah, I'm so sad I missed all that.
I know it would have been so fun if you'd come with me, but what can you do? But yeah, then the last concert we saw was Rufus Du Sol. So we saw them in Berlin over the May 1st weekend, and really cool venue. That was in the Velodrome in Berlin. And I've never been to a venue before like that where the band plays in the center, and even though it's kind of a stadium, it's not fully isolated in terms of like an inner room where they're playing and then the outside where you can go to the washroom and buy beer and stuff and merch and whatever, because yeah, it wasn't fully closed off. So like as I'm standing in line for some beer, I can turn around and between like the different posts, I can still see the band and I can still hear it so clearly because it's not a separate room. So that was really unique. I've
Yeah.
never seen a venue like that before, because I mean, it's a sport. It's for bicycle races,
Mhm.
but it was
Yeah,
really, really cool. I really enjoyed that. I really liked seeing the venue, and honestly, they were great. The band was really good. It's not 100% my music style. I like a few songs, but they played really well, and that was a great opportunity again for Niels and I to see music that we would both like. So it was a really unique and cool experience. So
Yeah.
really, really enjoyed that one.
Nice. And you skipped Tame Impala for it too, right?
I
Because he was playing in
know, yes.
Düsseldorf.
Exactly. I think, yeah, I probably would have enjoyed Tame Impala more, but I've already seen Tame Impala, and like Deadbeat is not my all-time favorite album, so I feel like I could afford to miss out on that one. But no, I heard that was a good show too. Obviously, I'm still following along in Reddit, and people are saying it was a great show. So, congrats to all the
Nice.
artists on their successful tours so far. I've bought some new tickets actually, though. So I've got some new shows now coming up. So this kind of leads into my next, I guess, topic. My current obsession, what I've been listening to on repeat, is The Strokes. I never really did a deep dive. I knew obviously like the main hits and stuff, but I'd never gone back into their discography. And I guess I listened to them enough in terms of just like they're on a bunch of playlists that I listened to, that I got a Spotify pre-sale code. So I thought, yeah, why not? Then I spent the day before the sale, I listened to a couple albums and I was like, oh my God, this is actually fantastic. So then I bought the tickets, and now I have been nonstop listening to them ever since. They have so many albums, and new albums coming out in June as well. They also all have solo projects, so I'm like, I'm going to be well fed for the next few months in terms of music. I have plenty to keep me going. Did you ever listen to The Strokes? Did you ever get into them?
No, I know that you asked me to join you for the concert, and I'm
Mhm.
really curious to go because I just know the mainstream songs that are really famous, but I never had a deep dive into them. I also thought they were like British, but you told me they're
Nope,
actually American, so
yeah.
I'm very
super weird too.
surprised. Yeah.
The lead singer, Julian Casablancas, his father actually founded Elite Model Management, which is the modeling company that the winners of America's Next Top Model get a contract with. So I guess he is definitely a Nepo baby, but that's okay. He's very talented as well. Yeah. And we also got tickets for Placebo. So maybe,
Yes.
yeah. I
Placebo.
also don't know them too well. I've started listening to, but maybe you'll have to assign me something to get more into it.
Yeah. maybe it's a time before the concert, because now well, I think it's also important to not interrupt the flow when you're into something.
That's
You
right.
should really soak it up in every single cell you have, and then
Yes.
go on with the normal stuff. But yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm actually super jealous. I think my set list for my personal concert set list is very low, but I saw that a band is coming to Cologne. You mentioned before is Man I Trust, but
Yeah.
as I already asked you, you are very busy at this day, and I think maybe it's
Yeah.
another concert I will go alone to.
Maybe.
So yeah,
I'm
let's see
jealous
if
though.
I
You have to tell
like
me how it is. I would like to see them as well.
Yeah,
That's very, lo-fi dream pop.
yeah.
Shoegaze, I
I
guess.
also it's nearly the first half of the year's over, and I can really clearly see it could be the year of female voices to me.
Hell yeah, that's what I want to hear.
It's not just like your recommendation were also like female voices, but there are some things I'm discovering. Also a young girl called Hannah Lily, which I discovered by kind of recommendation from an internet guy. So yeah, it's really interesting how I can transform myself to get to enjoy some kind of female voices. But yeah,
Love it.
maybe I
love
have
to hear
to
that.
get used to it a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Also the band we saw on the White Lies, She's in
opener.
Parties, the
Yeah.
support act. Yeah. Oh, this was also a good band. Yeah, I think I'm open up my mind this year to female voices.
I'm
on my
loving
ears.
it. Loving to hear that. That's great news. Excellent. Well, that opens up my recommendations for you now, too.
Yeah.
There's one other concert I have on my radar. I think it's October 31st. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a band called Sports. So they're another band that I've listened to through my algorithm that's been shuffled in a few times. And there's a few songs of theirs that I'd had saved. They also just came out with a new album. So I was doing a deep clean of my bathroom on the weekend, and I listened to the new album and a couple of their old ones. And it's very shoegaze. I think you would love them. So something to think about, but concert watch. And in November, I think we have, you also have Interpol in November, right? I still want to get tickets to that. I still want to come. I got to look into that.
Autumn is very busy again.
Yes,
but during the summer or now the springtime, I really have to check on what's going on here.
I also have Noah Kahan on the 26th of November. I just realized I don't know him at all, though, so I have to do some homework on that. It's one a friend wanted to go to. But I did wait in line on the Ticketmaster release day and was successful. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of shows coming up, and excited to get into them.
Yeah. Just one last recommendation. Kid Capici is coming to Cologne again.
Very good.
In 6th of December. So
okay, it's on the radar.
On the radar, yes.
On the list. But yeah, what have you been listening to lately? So I just said the Strokes are kind of my obsession at the moment. What about you? Is there anything other than lo-fi working music you've got going on?
I shifted now to SoundCloud for this working music because I don't want to mess up my algorithm anymore.
Okay.
I had a quick wrap up, and it says like the most played songs since I'm a Spotify member.
Yeah, I saw that
and
too.
It was a Fontaine song actually, because I'm just joined in November 24, and I just switched over to SoundCloud to hear lo-fi music. So no, as I said, I was very busy, and on a bike ride or on a run, I also started to listen to playlists again because
nice.
I was not so inspired to listen to full albums or just single songs from artists I just recently saw. And yeah, that's it.
I also had this like, I think it was Spotify's 20th birthday or something like that they did kind of a mid-year wrap up, because I also saw this and I watched it. I don't remember, I was just trying to see if I could find it, but I don't think I have access to it anymore. But I don't remember what my most played song was, but my most streamed artist was Taylor Swift, and I was a little bit surprised about that, but it is what it is. And my first played song was a One Direction song, Infinity, from the album Made in the AM. So yes, I'm not beating the pop girl allegations, unfortunately, which is okay by me. Oh, actually, though, one other piece of music news. Modest Mouse, new CD, Eraser and Amaze, comes out June 5th, and they've already released 3 singles so far. So the first was Look How Far We've Come. Now they released Picking Dragon's Pockets. at the end of April, and that one is a banger. I have been listening nonstop. It's so good. Have you listened yet?
You sent it over to me, but I missed it. Yeah,
You gotta
because
check
I
it
was
out.
not so hooked. Yeah, I have to, because I was not so hooked by the first song
I
you sent
agree.
over for
I
me.
agree. Yeah, the first one was not the best, but the one they released yesterday or the day before yesterday, I think it's called The Dark Side of the Moon or The Other Side of the Moon or something like that. It is so good. It's a sad song.
Okay,
It's fantastic though. So I
good.
really, really recommend it and check out the album. I'm really excited for the album to come out. So they
Yeah,
aren't they did
okay, I
announce
will
a
check
tour,
it.
but it's only North.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw it.
sad.
Yeah, and also another music news, and then we skip
Then
over
we go to the albums.
to
Yeah.
the albums. Interpol, I'm going to see as a support from Block
Party.
Party, is touring North America as well
Yes, I saw
as a
that.
headliner tour. And who's the support act? Dive. Oh my god,
Yeah,
I
it all
would
comes
love to
together.
see that.
I think so.
But yeah, let's see. I think Dive will come back anytime to Europe. So
Definitely. And Block Party is going to
just
be good
waiting for
too.
it. Yeah.
They'll also be good. But yeah, okay, cool.
Okay.
Well, then lots of music news up top, lots of concerts going on, lots of new albums coming out. Exciting time to be an indie or whatever kind of music type of fan. And yeah, but in the meantime, we have two albums to discuss. One is a newer album and one is a quite old album. What would you like to start with, Isabel? Do you have any strong thoughts on either way?
I think, as I said, I'm open up for female voices right now. We should start with the album you recommended to me. It was the album
Okay.
Riot from Paramore. I was really, really curious about the band because I know you mentioned them a lot of time, and I know they are very influenced
Uh,
you
Not
in
really.
your.
Just this one album, but
Not
yeah.
really?
Only this one
Okay,
album, I
just
would
this
say.
one album. But I was just curious because I just know Paramore from the soundtrack from the Twilight movies. I don't know which song it was. I think it was not on this album, but on the next album. And yeah, I'm really curious to listen to what you have to say about Paramore. Why did you recommend this album to me? Although you knew that I'm not so open for female voices, but it's shifting.
Well, that's why I recommended it. I'm trying to push you out of your comfort zone. No, I recommended it because that was one of the albums that I had wanted to recommend to Jay. And then unfortunately found out he already knew that album inside and out. So I thought, yeah, okay, then I recommend something else. But I still thought it would be worth it for you to listen to it because I thought you would like it. Because yes, it is a female voice, but it's a powerful female voice. And it's really a rock sound. And it's something that I remember from that era, growing up. And I think it came out in 2007, 2008. So
Yes,
it really is
2007.
that's a really strong memory from, being a teenager and starting to listen to rock music and yeah, something other than what your parents are putting on. And I just thought I really enjoyed that album and I really enjoyed listening to it back also once we were talking to Jay because him and I have talked about them before as well. So I was listening to it again and I thought, yeah, I think Isa might like this one. So that's why I recommended it. And yeah, a little bit of background. Paramore has definitely become more pop, I would say, in the last few years. And Hayley Williams specifically, I know she's released some really big songs. So Airplanes, can we pretend like airplanes in the night sky, like shooting stars? That was her. She's been in some Zed songs. She sang in Stay the Night. And I want to say another one, but I definitely wasn't Clarity, even though it sounds similar to her. But she's been in a lot of really big songs. And I actually saw her perform because she opened for the Eras tour in Europe. So I saw her as a support for Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
which was great. She was really, really great. And like, obviously it was, yeah, we've talked about this before that it's really hard to be a supporting act when a venue is so massive and it's really from the draw of the headliner. And sometimes it can be hard to bring the energy when also a lot of people don't always go to the opener. So maybe the stadium isn't totally full and that's a difficult job to do, but I think she did a great job and she sounded fantastic. Yeah, she's definitely been around. She's definitely in pop culture. And I think what's really cool about her is what I was reading when I was kind of like, yeah, trying to refresh my information about this album because I never knew the background. I just knew it was an album that I liked. Is that she was originally scouted when she was, I think, 13 or something like that. So she was signed with a record label when she was quite young, and their plans for her were to make her a pop singer and to have her
Mm.
be, you know, kind of top 40 playing really pop music. But she pushed back and she said, no, I want to play rock music and I want to play in a band. And so she met her bandmates in high school. So they were 14 or 15 when they started playing. And I think I even saw like a quote from one of the record company execs that was like, I had no faith in them. And then as soon as I heard, I was like, these guys are kids. Like, this is going to be terrible. And then when they started playing, they were like, okay, never mind. There might be something here. And I think that takes so much bravery, you know, at a young age, when if your dream is to be a singer, you finally have this opportunity. I feel like so many people will just say yes to whatever opportunity
Yeah.
they're presented with, and to actually, you know, have your own vision of the kind of art you want to make and to push back on that, especially at such a young age, I think is really admirable. And I think she's a really cool chick, and I think she's
Yes.
had an amazing career, and she still is touring, she still is doing solo projects as well. So I think she's a really interesting figure, and that's why I thought, yeah, it could be cool to talk about her. But what did you think of the
Nice.
album?
Yeah, I also want to say that, yeah, it's super brave to be like your vision in your head and go ahead for this, because in this time when they released the album or founded the band, it was like role models like Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears. I
Yeah.
think there were not so much kind of female role models in the indie alternative scene. So
Well, I saw
become
they were
one
compared
is,
to Avril Lavigne, and Kelly
yeah, yeah,
Clarkson.
yeah,
But still, it's such a
yeah.
different sound. It is much more raw than I would say either of those artists.
Yeah, it is more raw, but it reminds me a little bit of Avril Lavigne.
Yeah.
When I put the music on a few hours before to listen back to it, the album, so Jonas said, "Oh, why is Avril Lavigne cool again?" Or
She never stopped being cool, excuse me.
definitely, but yeah, it as I set it up the album, as I played it the first time, I was really like, oh, it's this kind of Edison vibe I really expected, just like pushing forward and
High energy.
yeah, the
I love my
high
high
energy.
energy.
So you just treat me like going out of the comfort zone for female voices and like going out of my comfort zone, doing more running to
I'm
listen
trying
to
to
these
push you to
albums
run.
because
That's right.
yeah. So to get your pace so that I can run with you. So because this album really moves me. It's not a typical album I can listen to when I'm working or sitting down or just having a stroll through the park. It's very activating music. And this is really what I can listen to when I'm in a specific mood for it. So yeah, I had a little bit of struggle to get into it. At first I remember that, or I mentioned that I have to figure out which mood does an album needs to be like I
Yeah.
can hear it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say this in a good
Which
sentence.
mood do
So
you need to be in to listen to the album?
yeah, yes, right. So and also like cycling or running is a good mood for it. Yeah, and it feels like very, as you described it, like chaotic or teenage years. You're upset. You have so many emotions you have to process and order and just put it out in energetic music. Can get out
That's
of
when you
this
can connect
album.
with it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I assume also that you knew the song Misery Business, because that is an extremely
Yes.
famous song. So did you know that this was the band that had made that song, or when you heard it, were you kind of like, oh, wait, I do know this one? Because I think there was a few
Yeah.
singles from this album.
Yes, as I heard the song, it sounds familiar, but I'm also bad in remembering names or connecting band names to song names. So I've never had an idea if this is Paramore or not, even if it's played on the radio. I think it's very, when you're into them and you get to know them better and you get interested in them, it's easy to recognize, oh, this is Paramore, definitely. As I listened the first time to Misery Business, it sounds familiar, but I could not really recognize that it's Paramore.
Okay, I mean, maybe it also wasn't as popular in Europe as it was in North America. But
Yeah, it could be, could be.
could
Yeah,
be.
as I said, they became popular with the Twilight soundtrack because it was on a CD or what they ever released in this year. So I know the Twilight songs.
What did you not like? What song stuck out?
Yeah, I had a few thoughts on it, and I needed a little bit time to listen to it back and again. And I thought that for a pessimist, I'm pretty optimistic. It's a very funny, interesting song.
That's
but
my
I have
favorite one.
I have. Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my favorite
It's
one.
it's starting right away, and I was really into it. And I think it's easy to get into the album again. Like you really get it from the very first sound or song how this album will evolve. I think it's a little bit more like not every song sounds the same, but they have a lot in common.
Hmm.
But yeah, this is a song I really liked. And also, I had a very bad earworm from Hallelujah.
Oh,
This is a
okay.
very catchy chorus.
Apparently,
But
that was the
it's
first
not
song they
the
ever
song.
wrote, even though they waited to
Yeah,
release it on
really.
this album. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a very unusual how do you say phrase to put in
Phrase.
a alternative rock
Yeah.
song like Hallelujah. So
Yeah.
it's like gospel.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fun to listen to, but it was not the song I really liked the most. Yeah, Misery Business I also like because I'm familiar with the sound, but it turns out that it shifted a little bit when I heard the song Crush Crush Crush, because
Yeah, another great one.
this is a great one, and I think this is also the way they record it feels like a concert for me. Because
Okay.
in the middle part, it's shifting a little bit, and you literally hear the crowd clapping to the beat. It's really nice song. I liked a lot, and also Fences I really liked.
Okay.
So there are a few songs.
So you
that
liked a
really
lot of
stuck out to me.
songs. This is great.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm happy to hear this.
Yeah.
It's funny, like Crush, 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 because I always think of that lyric. Like every time I'm not doing anything, I always think of nothing compares to a quiet evening at home. And I'm like, yeah, it's true. Nothing compares, just hanging out at home. But
Yeah.
that's hilarious. I would say I agree with a lot of those choices, but there's one that I really like that you didn't mention, and that's What You Get. I love that song as well. And that's
Yeah.
that's another banger. But I think my favorite is ultimately For a Pessimist. I'm pretty optimistic because I just love that chorus that's like, I never wanted to say that you never wanted to stay. And it's like, it's just sort of true. Like, I put my faith in you and you just threw it away. It's so good. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I love to run to that
So
song.
good.
I think it's so powerful. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. What are you putting on the
And
playlist?
I think I would go for Crush 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 because
Nice.
it's really. I remember one situation. I don't know. I think I was on a run, and I heard. It's really interesting when you like distracting your brain with something else, like go running or cycling. Then you have another clearly listen. I think because maybe it's matching your movement, and this
Yeah.
I had with this song especially. And it was just fun to listen to, and I really saw like you and I standing in an arena going to a Paramore concert
Well,
with
so
the song.
then I guess
really
that answers
liked it.
that question if you would go to a
Yeah.
concert. But I don't
Yes.
know that their current music is anything like this, but I think it would have been amazing back in the day to have seen when this album was touring. I think that would have been so fun. I've watched some
But I
YouTube videos
also-
of those performances also, and they look really, really energetic.
Yeah, what about the music videos? I never looked them up, but I
also
see
don't know them.
Spotify mentioned that there are a lot of music videos for this album.
I've also can't think of any. I'm sure I have seen them probably when I was in high school when this album came out, but I cannot remember any of them, and so I have nothing really to say about the music videos.
We just listened to the album. So nice.
Yeah, exactly. What about the music?
One last thing. I just want to ask one last thing because the album was 2007, and do you think that also like this female lead singer as a role model had a massive influence on these emo and punk times we had in the beginning of the 2000s?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. Like, I think
There
probably
was-
some of them paved the way. Like, I mean, Avril Lavigne, even for Haley Williams to have been compared to Avril Lavigne, I think that shows that, I guess, yeah, that maybe it was starting to become more common for women to break into these roles and to be something other than just kind of, yeah, a pop star. But I don't know. I don't really know who would be credited as the first. And I'm also not really sure which, bands that followed would say that Paramore were huge influences on them. I think that would also be interesting to look into.
Yeah, but yeah, as I looked up a little bit the emo time, like Fall Out Boy and all the other bands that came up suddenly, and everyone is wearing dark hair in front of the face on your forehead.
So My Chemical Romance, just
yeah,
say
My Chemical Romance too. Yeah, there were a lot of bands that I think also they pushed each other because there was suddenly an odyssey to listen to this music, to get the people, also the teenagers, into like mood and specific emotions to express and go out for it. And yeah, I think it's really interesting. And this is a good transition to go to the next album of AFI because
Absolutely.
they had also a massive influence. And I think this is what they both bands have in common. They come from a specific time with different backgrounds, but it was like a very formative time. Yeah.
So AFI, I need to know a bit more about their history because I did look into them. I had known the name. So the album you recommended to me is Silver Bleeds in the Black Sun, or Silver Bleeds the Black
Yes.
Sun from AFI.
Yes.
So this is a newer album. This came out in 2026 or 2025?
Was October 25, yes.
Okay, so this came out last year. I knew the band because of Miss Murder. I think that's their most common song. I think everyone would know that one. And is it Girl Goes Gray or something like that?
Yeah, Girls Not Grey.
Girls Not Grey. Yeah, exactly. That one also I knew. But I do kind of remember a music video from around this time, and it was very dark and very kind of gloomy and depressing. And I think this was not really my style back in the day when this was released. It wasn't totally my type. But this album I found quite cool. It's different, and we can talk about that and their evolution. But what I wanted to say is that I did some research because I didn't really know anything about the band other than those two songs, and I was thinking, okay, well, what have they been up to? And I found out that I think even whatever album that Miss Murder was on, they'd actually been making music a lot longer before then, and that they were making kind of horror punk, and they were crossing a lot of different genres. So at what point did you get into AFI, and when did you, or what's your history with them?
Yeah, the same history as you had. I knew Miss Murder back in the days. I really liked the song. I loved the song. And I was really inspired by this beautiful young man wearing eyeliner
Of course,
and
you
makeup.
thought he was hot.
Gosh.
I think now, the picture of him now on Spotify, I'm like, yeah, he's attractive. But in all those old pictures, I'm like, ew, not my type. Sorry.
Yeah, it was just the style of his appearance. He's designing himself in kind of way, and this also shifted. So my personal story with this band is I have no story, but I know back in the days when I was a little gothic girl and my emo friends around, they really admired this band a lot when they became famous with Miss Murder and also the other songs Silver and Cold and Girls Not Grey. I loved it. I had it on my MP3 player, and I'm very familiar with the December Underground album, which was Miss Murder album. I listened a little bit to it, and yes, this is my history with it. And I also saw that they came a little bit from the skate punk vibe scene.
Yeah, they're from California, which I did not expect. For such dark music, I would not think like sunny SoCal boys, but okay.
Yeah, but then it shifted to be a little bit more darker and more gothic, like with the December Underground album. And now the development of the band leads to Silver Bleeds the Black Sun. And how did I discover it? Listen, I was on the Instagram profile of the festival we are going to see in London. All Points East Festival. I just checked the other days and what artists are going to play there, and I saw interview with the Davey. What's his last name? I don't know. Davey is his first name. The singer.
Something with H.
Yeah. And I thought, oh my God, who's that guy? He's looking so interesting with his hair and this mustard. And I was checking. Oh my God, I've never ever thought that he is this guy from the Miss Murder video with the black hair and the makeup on. He totally looks different. And I was so interested in what he's going to tell. And I just saw that this interview featured also the song Holy Visions from this album. And I was so curious. And I saw this album design and I was totally into it because it reminds me also of my
let's get into Ease's graphic design. Let's get to Ease's graphic design corner.
Yeah.
The pink,
I have to say I was hooked by the design because it's so cool and it's very like artsy in a way. Like it also transfers the title of the album. Very good. Silver Bleeds the Black Sun and this disappearing sun in the middle and the pink background. It's very atmospheric. I liked it a lot. And I was very curious about this album. I think it's a very good visual art.
Judging an album by its cover. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was just like, it got my attention from then
Mhm.
on. But the Holy Vision song hooked me, and then I saw the album cover, and then I got into this album. So it was like, yeah, kind of an accident. I just saw an interview of this guy, and I thought, oh
Hmm.
my God, I would never ever have expected when I hear just a song that this is AFI and that this guy is the guy I
No.
knew from the Miss Murder video.
No,
Yeah.
no.
And they are also still touring at the
Are they
moment, and they
playing
are,
at the festival? Why was
yes.
he giving a interview?
I think the festival site was just like interviewing him, and they
Okay.
are playing on another day of the festival because
Okay.
this All Points East festival is spread into
Yeah,
different
right.
weeks and days.
Right, right.
And on this day when we are in London, they are playing Colognes.
Man,
Yeah,
okay.
but I'm not really sure if I wanted to go to see them because I think this album is very atmospheric and it's a very, very short album. Just got like 33 or 34 minutes to play, but it's soaking you up directly, or this was my impression of this
Mhm.
album. Like, it's very atmospheric, very dark, very, yeah, like all this shoegazy and post-punk stuff I
I
like a lot.
disagree with that though. Like I
Really?
also read that online that they were like there was a review of the album saying, "Oh yeah, they're really returning to their goth roots. Like you can really hear that." And I'm like, I didn't think it sounded super gothic. I didn't think it sounded so like low energy cuz like Holy Visions, that is a high energy song. That is like honestly, it's theatrical, like, especially his
Mm,
voice, he really enunciates, and,
mm,
like, he sounds so it doesn't sound like what I would imagine Gothic music is, but maybe I also don't have a lot of experience with that genre, so maybe
mm,
I just don't know, but to me, it sounded like and even, like, the beats are, like, kind of electronic,
mm,
it sounded more
mhm,
upbeat than I would expect from
mhm,
Gothic, and, like,
mhm,
a lot of the songs, like and even they said they're like, "Oh, yeah, they're not, like, it's not full of stadium banger classics like certain other albums which they named. They have so many albums. I didn't remember them all. And I was like, I could totally see these being sung in a stadium. I could absolutely see this being a huge show. So I don't know. I had a bit of a different impression of it. I didn't think it sounded that dark, but I don't know. Maybe my
yeah.
impression is that it's really, really dark. And so anything that's not like basically a horror movie is pop,
Yeah.
is preppy.
No. Yeah, I think the thing is with gothic music, it's you cannot say there's a gothic genre, right? It depends. It's also dark rave, post-punk, goth rock, and gothic music is not just like, it's very kind of could also be romantic and introspective. This is the thing with the sad music. It must has to be like, it's not this kind of whiny music you
Okay, okay.
imagine, or like scary things. It's
Yeah.
a romantic, sad, depressed, but also in a good way. Post punk is a good genre to figure out how it could be, and the way they evolved is also compared with The Cure, Joy Division, or Sisters of Mercy. If you
Yes.
listen to any of these bands, also like UK bands,
Yeah.
then you can get an impression of what they are
I
leading
was
to.
reading about Joy I read a lot of comparisons to Joy Division, but to me, I am also hearing Depeche Mode. I am hearing 80s.
Yes,
I am hearing kind of
yeah.
like
The
this
synthes.
exactly, a lot of synthesizer, and I didn't see
Yeah.
anywhere written Depeche Mode, but oh my God, is it there's one song that I'm thinking of. I mean, yeah, Holy Visions as well, but also Marguerite. That also sounds quite Depeche Mode vibes, and
Mm,
I don't know, but yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't mind it
yeah.
though. I thought it was a good album, but when
Yeah,
I'm
nice.
reading the reviews of it, I'm like, this is not exactly what I would think. But again, I'm not
Yeah,
like I don't know a lot about the band. I don't have a ton to compare it to, so
yeah.
that was just my impression
So,
though.
yeah, what was your mood to get into this album? Because I know you're
Yeah.
like a very active person and you can listen to music all the time. Was there a specific
Yeah. So
thing you did to listen to it?
I started listening to it. I just played it on my way to work on my commute, and I was like, okay, at like 8 in the morning, this is maybe a little, it's not exactly setting the tone for the day that I'm trying to have, but that was when I first started noticing some of the songs. The first song that stuck out was Behind the Clock. I thought that was a
Mm-hmm.
really unique song, and his voice, he has a very, very interesting voice. It's nice and deep. He's great at enunciating, and I think he can portray so much emotion and character in his voice. So that's really cool. And that kind of reminds me even of like Queen or something that like I said, it's almost theatrical. I think he would also do well in a bunch of different genres because I really think his voice is very versatile and could be used in a lot of ways. So Behind the Clock was the first one that stuck out to me. I thought that was kind of interesting. The first song I didn't really like, Birds of Prey. Didn't really, it was a bit too much. The first song though that I really started like actually playing back and like starting the album at was Holy Visions. Yeah, great song. That one's really fun.
It's very catchy.
It's very catchy. And I think it feeds, I think the one right after it is Blasphemy and Excess or something like that.
Yeah.
And they kind of go well together because I think it builds on that energy, which I really like. And then, yeah, the other one's not so much. But then also Marguerite towards the end. I really like that one too. So like you said, it's a shorter album. So it's not such a, sometimes when, yeah, we get a recommendation and I'm looking and it's something I've never listened to before and I never would have thought to listen to. And it's like an hour long. I'm like, oh God, okay. And I have to kind of psych myself up for it. But this one I was like, yeah, 30 minutes, no problem. It took me a few listens definitely before I was interested in it and I was into it. But yeah, by now there's definitely a few songs that I would have saved. So I do like it.
Yeah,
and as for what mood I have to be in to listen to it, yeah, certain songs I think you could play for workouts or commutes or whatever. But just the album itself is also fine to work while I'm listening to. Like, I do like it that when some songs are a bit more high energy and then some songs are a bit more, I can just concentrate. So there's no specific special occasion for this. I think it's fine, but yeah.
Would you add some of the songs to your workout or running playlist?
Yeah. I think Holy Visions for sure.
Yeah.
That one would
work. I had the song also on repeat.
It's pretty
very,
catchy.
very nice song.
So I guess I'm kind of stuck between what I'm going to add to the playlist. I don't know if it's that one or Marguerite. Because while I do like Blasphemy and Excess as well, I think there's just some parts of it where it just sounds kind of silly to me, where he's like, no fucking regrets. Like that kind of make me laugh. So I'm like, maybe I don't want that one. You know what though? I think I'm going to put Holy Visions then because that's, I think
good
that's,
choice.
it's just clearly the standout of the album.
Yeah.
I would even say that to my actual songs. Whoa. Yeah. Big honor here.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, glad you liked because sometimes I'm a little bit insecure if you can get into this moody mood to listen to this music because when I compared these two albums, I think it's also like how do you say, a transfer of our personalities. Like you are more like pushy, output, high energy, and this is also the music style you like a lot, and I'm some more like introspective and my own mind and head. And sometimes when we recommend each other, still powerful, but it's a different thing. And also
power.
with these sad gothic music, I think you could struggle a little bit to get into this mood when you're not familiar to it, because I also thought today that I was not so familiar as a teenager with expressing my emotions. So I was tending to go to albums that's very like soothing you in a sad way, kind of. So
do you think that's a German thing? Do you think that's our cultural differences? That Germans are a bit more reserved, maybe, and not so expressive of their emotions?
Could be. I can tell when I was over in Canada to explore
you can
your
tell
culture.
Once you've come to see my culture, then you can tell me how you feel about that.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
But I think it's more a personal thing, like how you express or develop your emotional life or experience. Yeah.
I mean, but I could get any teenager too. I'm like, there's no way I was as comfortable communicating my needs and my feelings as a 14-year-old as I am now. I think that just comes with age as well.
Yeah, sure.
Which maybe also influenced the music I'm listening to. Who knows?
I was also seeing that we don't have a match in this album, because Holy Vision is also my absolute favorite song from this, so this is a check mark. So, but I was a little bit, Blasphemy and Excess was a little bit cringe to me as well.
Yeah, okay. I did like it, even though some lyrics were silly. I still liked it.
But I really liked what's the song name? Ashback in a Green Eye. I don't know how to pronounce it. And Void Ward, I Went Back. These two songs really gave me, from the beginning they start right away, they gave me the Cure and Joy Division vibes, which I really love. It's more about the guitars and the bass, and yeah, I agree totally that the voice is very interesting. And I saw an interview, I just had a little bit of research. I saw an interview where Davey was saying that he was practicing a lot of push-ups when there was the COVID lockdown, and somehow the muscle strength, maybe something in his throat was not. Yeah, I don't know. Something in his throat was not so good, and then there was something that shouldn't be there, and his voice was affecting a little bit by it. But I also think like he's turning 50 or something, right?
Is he really? He looks great for his age.
He's about 50. And I think it's also important to develop your voice to your age. In the days when a lot of bands have this history, when you do scream or punk or hardcore.
Oh, I'm sure that's damaging. Yeah.
Metal, it's damaging your voices or your vocals, and then you have to develop a way to use your voice so that it's more steady and you can regulate it a little bit better. And I think this is also what you can hear out of it. When you compare former albums from AFI, it's very different to the sound they have now.
Now I'm kind of curious. I have to go back and listen to some of those though.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Murder. Yeah,
I've listened to that
again.
One, obviously, recently.
Yeah, I listened to it. Yeah, it's cool. It's also a funny album. I watched a funny music video. I've watched the music video again to see how he was looking in this music video. Yeah.
And was it doing it for you? Did you find him hot?
Oh
my God.
No. I didn't find him hot.
So ridiculous. Like, he looks so different.
Yeah.
I'm looking at pictures right now of him.
Yeah, he's also developing his style a little bit with kind of each album.
He has crazy
he has short
tattoos.
Hair.
He has like
short
full
hair, long hair,
black
hair.
sleeves.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
weird looking dude.
Yeah, so I'm glad you had a good time with this.
Yeah, it was fun. It was something different, that's for sure. Do we have any more thoughts on these albums before we move on to our question of the day?
Paramore, check. We have a song on our playlist and also on an AFI album. So do you know what AFI is standing for?
A fire inside? Is that it?
Yes, it's a fire inside, yeah.
I think I also saw that there's other bands called AFI too, or there's other things it can mean as well. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely the one. Yeah. And it's probably the most common one, the most known one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I have no more thoughts, but I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, I did.
And maybe I will print out this album cover and hang it on my wall. It's
so
cool.
Do it. I love it.
But one last graphic thought on the Riot album cover to make it equals. I also thought it's very cute because it's like you have some sketches on a college blog or something on a paper. So like they put a lot of Riots written down in a chaotic order.
They were kids. It's a little bit, a little more juvenile, which is also okay.
Yeah.
But you know what I was thinking actually about the Silver bleeds the black sun? That can make a cool tattoo. That image. That could also be nice.
I would like to know if there's any tattoo artists in our community. Is it possible to do it like this?
Probably just without the pink, I think you would have to do.
The solving of the sun, is it possible to tattoo it that way?
Oh, those artists are so impressive. I'm sure they could do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be cool. I've seen some people on the Reddit have a lot of AFI tattoo. Yeah, this guy's got, kind of similar. Well, anyways.
Someone did this tattoo?
I don't think it was this album, but they did the December Underground one and then a few of the other ones as well. But they have one that looks kind of similar to this. Like, maybe I can...
This would be also a good question of the day.
Which song tattoo would you
lyric get? Or album title?
Okay, I mean, we can actually just do that as our question of the day, because I do have an answer for that. Do you have one? Or do you want to stick to our original one? What's yours?
Yeah, let's do it.
Is it a dive one?
So, okay, let's maybe put this topic again. So we prepared another question of the day, but as we are very flexible in our podcast, we're turning this question of the day today into which kind of album cover or band name or lyric line which you tattoo on your body and where and why.
Yes. Okay, I do have an answer for this because even though I have no tattoos, recently I've been thinking maybe I would like to get one day, but I'm not really sure what. But yeah, so the idea I have like a music related one, I probably wouldn't get because it's a bit more advanced for a non-tattoo having person like myself. I think I would need a few beginner tattoos before I could do this. But it is from the song Life Like Weeds by Modest Mouse, which is on their album The Moon and Antarctica. And the lyric is like, our hearts are just made out of strings to be pulled. And so I thought it would be interesting to have like a line kind of coming from your heart down with like someone like a hand pulling it. And maybe it's kind of like that Banksy piece of art that's like the girl holding the balloon that's in the shape of a heart.
Yeah, yeah.
Something kind of like that. And yeah, because I always thought that's a beautiful song, and it's I think one of the saddest songs they have, and I love that song, and I just thought that would be a really cool, like, I saw that image so clearly when I hear that song, so I thought that would be my answer. But
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
what
So
about you?
you would go and transfer some lyrics from your favorite song into an artsy tattoo then. Yeah.
Into an image, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, to an image. Yeah, nice. I like this idea. I also would go for this kind of way because I saw also on the dive community that some people are doing the band name as it's written down with the bold letters on the skin, on the ankle or somewhere. But I think it's too bold, and I don't know. I think I wouldn't go for a specific album cover except Silver Bleeds Black Sun. Or even a band name, because I think that's too, how do you say, too bold in a way.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
like a
would
brand.
also,
It's branding rather than
yeah,
like a meaning.
yeah. Even if they pay me, if Dive would pay me to be like a
Brand
advert,
ambassador.
yeah. So I would do it. Yeah. And I think also like band names can change, they can split up or whatever. And it's a better way to pick a specific line and do it in a way like you described. And I would also go for it, but for a dive song actually. It's from the album Is DSR. There's a song called Dopamine, and this is a very like I think it's a drug topic in the song, but there's a line that always comes to my mind sometimes, and the line is you're the sun and I am the cloud. So I don't know, suns and cloud and moon is doing it for me because I have a tattoo here which is also with a moon and a sun, and yeah, also the Silver Bleeds the Black Sun artwork is also in my head in this scenery. So you're the sun and I am your cloud. It's like dependency, is it the
Yeah,
word?
yeah. Like
Dependency from each
codependency.
other. Yeah. And I think this is it's affecting your surrounding is affecting you anyways. And yeah, some people are the cloud in your life and you're the sun, or other way around, and yeah, it's affecting each other. And I think it's a beautiful line. I don't have a specific design idea, but yeah, kind of sun and cloud and moon, I don't know, something with that, but in mind with this song and the dopamine line. Yeah.
Cool. That's a great idea. I actually have another one I thought about too. Another Modest Mouse one, also from the same album from Third Planet. They say the universe is shaped exactly like the earth. If you go straight long enough, you'll end up where you were. And I thought it could be cool to have like an infinity sign of those words, like if you go straight long enough, you end up where you were. Because it's like it's a loop. Like you're just ending up back to where you thought.
Yeah.
Because I like that idea too, that it's like you don't always, even if you don't, like if you're never going to change, you're never going to change. Like if you just keep going straight, you're just going to end up exactly where you were. Like I kind of like that idea that everything is just a loop. And yeah, that's something also that I've thought of before. But yeah, I think it's all pretty clear that my tattoo would be Modest Mouse based, because I think Isaac Rock is the greatest poet of our generation. And yeah, I think there's a lot of inspiration to be taken from his lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. And with my tattoo, I don't know where to place it. I think it should be on a maybe on the arms or on the
Yeah, when you get your jack biceps, you can put it there.
Yeah, but yeah, I think sometimes tattoos are super intimate, but on the other hand, you want to make them like see people that they see it.
They want to be aesthetic as well. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, I think that's why I think I haven't got one, because I always just think of like, oh my gosh, that's a big decision, even though it's not really. So many people have like small ones that maybe they even regret, and it's like I think it makes it more interesting. I think it's a story, and I think I definitely a tattoo is always going to be a story, and I think it's cool, and I like I like the idea of personalizing yourself like that.
Yeah.
And
And
I really
if
respect
you
people
don't
that
like
do it.
if you don't like it anymore, you can check Davy's arm. It's fully black, so you can
Exactly.
just like
Or you can cover them up, or you could change it into something else, which is also evolution. So I think no, tattoos are really cool, and I hope one
or
day
ju-
I push myself to actually get one.
yeah. Or one day you have so much wrinkles so that it's not there
That's when I get the
anymore.
blackout ones. That's when I cover all my wrinkles. I go full Post Malone, have my whole face tatted. Yeah, I've still got some time for that. Great, cool. Then.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone who's listening along with us. Yeah, let us know if you've listened to any of those albums and what your thoughts are. And otherwise, we'll see you next time on the Longplayers Club. And remember, we listen and we don't skip.
Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and yeah, leave a comment there. See you next time.